Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Lance's Performance Shop, LoneStarMopars.com. This is kind of coming in a crunch. It's time critical. It's also really cold. Also, my lunch sucked, so I'm looking forward to supper. And did I mention it's cold? Because I'm losing feeling in these. But this is going to be a very interesting mix of things, although it's largely a Casey tool haul. We got to do this because there's a big special tie-in here. Right here, Alpha Gloves, the Vibe. This is a birthday present. You're thinking like, oh, I thought you would have gotten yourself like green or black or stealth or, something, anything but red, Not for me. That's for my mom. And true story, twice or maybe 3 times now, I've actually, might be more than that, I've had to order gloves because of my mom and sister. My sister, back around, I don't know, Halloween to Thanksgiving-ish, had like wrecked her gloves, the ones that I had for her at her house, and so I was like, oh, I'll just order some more gloves for everybody. And then, like, I don't know, 4 weeks later, there came the news from my mom, like, yeah, I really like those gloves. I finally, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I had to place another order, and the sad thing is, what I had given my mom was these, but in red, and she loved them. She's very particular with gloves, and she absolutely loved these. It's mainly like gardening and, light duty stuff. Sad day, Alpha is discontinuing the colored versions of these. I think, I need to really verify before you commit me to this, but I know black's available, maybe I think Coyote's for sure safe, and black, maybe Stealth, but basically black or Coyote, Camel, Desert Tan, whatever you want to call that color, right? Sort of think tactical. So that was a buzzkill, and she said she didn't want black, and she didn't want Coyote, and she didn't want to try these on. Finally, she caved, and she tried on a pair of my Vibe, and she was like, oh, because you see these, and when you're coming from this, you're like, no mobility, terrible, don't want anything to do with it. She actually didn't mind them, and again, she knew the gloves, the quality of them, wanted them, so boom. Birthday present. And if you think, okay, well, what's that got to do with Casey tool here? Well, number one, discount code Lone Star saves you 20% at Alpha Gloves. I still don't make anything off that. It's solely for your convenience. And yes, I use the discount code too. But we're now going to let's just start with the new stuff, and then we'll travel back in time. So right here, last week. It was a very, very busy, very cold week, and this arrived, I want to say, on the 17th or something, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to get these gloves out of here real quick. And this is pretty exciting because this is brand new from KC Tool. Probably who knows when this will ever get released, but as of me unboxing this stuff, it sat here on the floor for over a week. We've got a couple cool items. And you're thinking like, whoa, that doesn't look anything like the German tools I expected to see. And you're like, what are you doing? Well, check this out. This is what we're doing. This is a new line because I've had it for forever. Not this. This is brand new, at least at KC Tool. But I've had something from this company, actually 2 items from this company. One for 3 months and another since June 30th, 2023. That's when it was brand new, the entire line. And what is the line, you ask? Well, it is a line of, you might have guessed, German garden tools. This one comes from, I believe we'll get the pronunciation somewhat close, although people will contest it and have multiple different answers, none of which can be all correct because only one can be. So I'm going to go with Berger, right? We're going to think of bear paints, right? B-E-H-R paints, but you pronounce it in English as bear, like grizzly bear paints. And then think of hamburger. So I'm combining the bear of bear paints and the end of hamburger. And that's what we're rolling with. Is it correct? I don't know. Feel free to chime in if you'd like to. But this is kind of cool. Obviously, it's red. I figured she'd like the colors. It matches the gloves perfectly. And like I said, those are going to be used for gardening. And the price, you're thinking like, hey, I'm a little trowel. I used to have good trowels, and then the wood handle splinters are broke, and be danged, I cannot get a good one. And that's the boat I've been in. I don't know how many trowels I've given. Granted, I've not used this one, so I can't say for sure how it's going to hold up. But it'll typically suffice for her, but then whenever I'm helping, It's always right here, this section in this area. Usually it's no different than the stuff you can get from, say, Home Depot, Lowe's, big box store, a local garden store, greenhouse type of a place. We kind of got some bougie ones around here, believe it or not. And an Ace, you know, little small town hardware store, and just like dollar store, Walmart, Target junk. They all fail. And what happens to me is, like, it starts to bend right here, and then inevitably, you know, you bend it back and you're like, haha, fixed it. Well, guess what? You do that a few more times and snap. It's rendered null and void, all right? So I'm hoping this will be a good one. Just starting with one, gonna see what I thought of this, see what she thinks of it most importantly. I was actually gonna buy two, and I was just gonna wing it. I was gonna have this one for my mother's birthday, and then my sister's here in a couple months. I was already gonna have gifts ready to go, but there's only one in stock. So I thought, well, fine, you know, we'll pull the trigger on this one, see what we think, take it from there. So, like I said, it's cold right now, but we'll be using it here, you know, a couple weeks, see what we think of it. I do have a friend that built a greenhouse, actually, so I guess she might like something like that. And sticking with that theme, we've got that other thing that you might have seen down in the bottom of the box. Yeah, this guy. First thing first, let me get your part numbers. Again, I'll have everything linked. Still, as of recording this, I don't make jack. I do all of this for your convenience. And for my convenience, I pin down prices so I don't have to remember them long term. Part number on that will be 5610. KC Tools item code, if you want to have it exact, is BG. Again, for Berger. And you're looking at $13.25. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit more than what you spend at Walmart, but when you break that Walmart one and you've replaced it for the 4th time in, you know, 2 months, if this one holds up, it's going to look like a better value long term, right? This next item is going to be part number 5630. It is a double-headed hand cultivator. Note, we've actually switched. We've got a wood handle on this one. We've also got some protective wrap, I guess, so we don't barge our way through the cardboard there. I can confirm it is sharp because I just stabbed myself, but right there, you can see the brand name. Again, we're going to go with Berger. And right here you kind of have like a hoe action. Here you kind of got like cultivator action. Again, you can weed with these, whatever you want to do. It was seeming like a good pair. I assume that's why KC Tool brought these in at the same time. And my thoughts were, hey, birthday presents, right? I actually was gonna do Valentine's Day, but when it, you know, 2 weren't in stock of each one, I thought, I don't know how long it's gonna take them to restock. Spoiler alert, they've restocked already. Didn't know that in the past, so I'm going with birthday gifts. And like I said, these check out. We should have a little seat time with them before my sister's birthday. I'll follow up there. They would also be good for Mother's Day type of a thing, right? But you're looking at $23.65, which really, again, if it's quality, not a bad deal when you consider it's kind of 2 tools in one, right? So all in right here, you're looking at just shy of $40. And again, if these hold up, number one, if red was your color, you know, your mother, grandmother, wife, aunts, husband, whatever, garden. I know a surprising amount of old dudes, you know, they're like into cars, like build hot rods, are also avid gardeners. I don't mean like backyard mini farm type of stuff, like, hey, here's my tomatoes this year. I'm talking like flowers. Yeah, kind of crazy, but the more you know. Right? So if you've got somebody who's always just ticked, because again, I grew up with stuff my grandparents had. This, it was like super durable. The tool was still fine. The steel end, it was always the wood handle, and you'd wind up taping it, and then it would still splinter, or finally it would just like splinter off, and then you try to, like, you know, wedge something in. You couldn't find an exact match. You're like, I'll just get a new one. And little did you know, the new ones were going to put you in a perpetual cycle of replacing the trash can, throwaway garden tools that they produce today. So these look good. I want to believe they're good, but I cannot put my name on them until I've actually gotten to use them. So anyway, that's kind of what she's getting. She's getting a trowel, the double-headed cultivator deal, and then a pair of alpha gloves. But of course, there will be other things. I can't really tell you what I'm doing for her cake, because that would give her age away. You never do that to a woman. Never let someone know how old she is. So she'll be turning 29 again. Just phrase it that way, right? So pretty smart for a guy that's not married, right? But yeah, this is what we're doing here. However, way back in the day, what you should have seen long ago, or already in queue, which I've not recorded and dates back to June, I've got this, the catalog. You know, anytime there's a new brand and I bring something in, I like to start something I know or think I'm going to like, get a feel for the company, also get the catalog, see what they are all about. So this is, again, we're going to go with Berger. And this is the US catalog. I guess they don't really date them, and it's kind of smart. I don't believe they have prices of any kind in here, but it will walk you through everything. I thought that was kind of a cool little shear that they made. But if we come in just going through the table of contents to save us time, you got a story on the company: hand shears, lopping shears, head shears, topiary head shears. They make some pretty exotic stuff, sort of high end, you know, that you'd have a hard time finding locally. Arbo rapid telescopic poles. If you're like, whoa, what telescopic poles? Is this like that junky Harbor Freight pole saw thing? Yeah, they make that. They make baskets. I think like harvesting high up fruit trees. There's some really cool stuff here. They've got saws, which, spoiler alert, maybe we'll see something about those later. Accessories, knives, display sales aids, and then a pictogram glossary. If you click, I just typed in Berger German tools, and the video that I clicked happened to be sort of like a quick 3-minute or so company profile. It's actually run, it's a family business, which is great, but it's currently run by a brother and sister, so very cool there. You got kind of an inside look at the factory, a couple of the products, little insights, background on the company. It'll save you time if you don't want to invest in reading, but yeah. This is something, again, they used to be great. They really did, and then they started to suck. My current fiberglass handled ones, I think they're Corona. Those have actually been pretty good. I've had them for quite some time. But prior to that, it was always like I had a beautiful pair. I think they had like hickory handles, and they had blue collars on them, you know, where the wood slides up into the tool. Oh, those were good ones. Right here, you've got head shears. Again, they've got some really neat stuff. Again, anything you see in the catalog or you find, if you don't see it on KC Tools' website, just email them. I'm sure they can probably order it for you. Because again, some of this stuff, like when you're selling hand tools, this is kind of a jump. You don't know what people are going to buy. Like how many people that are going to buy a set of Stavilla wrenches and a Hazette HP90 are going to be like, oh yeah, that's going to be great. I can finally reach those tall apricots, you know, who knows? So I think they're just kind of feeling it out again. It's this will be the first growing season per se that they will have had them in there. Like I said, I don't know the exact date, but I ordered pretty early and that arrived June 30th, so I'm thinking summertime. Now, some of you might have been like, I'd never have steel, I want to have a wood handle. There you go, right here. Again, maybe KC Tools is going to get this. Here's asparagus and weeding knife. That's actually something I might pull the trigger on there. Here's our dual head cultivator. They've got some axes. So there's a trowel, and so we had 5610, which is the narrow trowel. I would be very interested in trying this. Actually, all three, realistically. I kind of wondered if this was light duty based on the description, but it was also the only thing on the website. So kind of pulled the trigger. I kind of wonder if this is best for sort of like a greenhouse, potted plants, that type of an environment. I'm thinking this would be their more heavy duty offering. Same thing here. So if this resonates well, this middle ground narrow guy, maybe I say, yo, Colin, hey, part number 5600, when can it be here? And it could be Valentine's Day. And we'll call that good, right? Or Mother's Day, you know, that's always a good time. It's usually around here, you know, that's past the last freeze. Right here, you've got some knives, pruning knives. You get the idea. They've got some nice holsters. And well, that's about it. So, like I said, there's sales aids. Some people are into that sort of a thing. Or if you happen to use German tools, but your bread and butter, you're a landscape company, or you sell landscape tools, mowers, lawn equipment, stuff like that. Yeah, picture that in your store, right? So that is the company catalog, and you're thinking like, okay, well, why did you have that back in June? Surely you didn't just order it by itself. I don't know. I spent good money. I really did. And I bought these, and spoiler alert, I have used them, but I also cleaned them up. Part number on this, I'm gonna say, is 1766. It's sort of like their two-component shear. This one has the spring. I want to say this just slides out. Thank you so much for that. Makes my life so easy. They're very, very nice. Again, I've only used them, I think, once. I had them, and I wanted to use them. I'm like, no, I don't want to make them look bad. And then finally, I broke down and used them. And basically, right there is your release. Again, there is the spring. I love that. Again, if you're pruning, if you're just going to whack off a couple of dead sticks or twigs, not a big deal, but long term, that is super nice, especially if you do a lot of pruning. You know, like sometimes you bend something back, it sort of jams up. The spring helps fight that. So trying to get this wrapped up real quick before the card time's out, but I was really happy with these. They have several iterations, and this is the one that I went with. So also there's another item, but it ties in better, believe it or not, with like what it came with. That's a long story, you'll see in some point in time. But yeah, this is another reason why I was thinking like, hey, maybe we hit 100 and do brand specific videos. We started a couple of them, as you should have seen. This just kind of has to be done because of the timing. But yeah, they do sell parts and replacement. They warrant these, but obviously, I mean, if you use them, you're going to beat them up. If it's a material defect, if it's a craftsmanship issue, you can get stuff warranted. However, more than likely, it would just be a deal where you're like, hey, you know, I've got these, can you get me the blade for them? And you spend a little less money than you would on the new tool. I would assume they would sell the grips as well if you like totally trash one of those, but I'm very excited to get more seat time with these. Again, it was just one small job I did, and it was quite nice. But this right here, again, it feels good, but it also, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I think I'm going to bend that. I kind of think this is the light duty one, the narrow trowel, which, like I said, I didn't have my catalog in when I ordered this stuff the other night, so I just kind of ran with it. But we might be bringing in another trowel or two. Might even get the wood handled one. But yeah, that is what I've done. Again, kind of, obviously, no, I'm not a terrible person. This isn't all I've gotten my mother for her birthday, but this is the stuff I thought you might like to see, because it's something that you could get for yourself, wife, mom, grandma, aunts, daughter, who knows, you know, like I said, gardening, you know, that's really kind of an unsung hero of a hobby. You know, it's enjoyable, it's pretty, you know, people pass by, something to look at. You know, birds, bees, all that stuff. I'm kind of more of a bird person, like wildlife as opposed to cats and dogs, you know. So yeah, I'm that guy. I'm like, oh, blue jay. You know, so when I was a kid, we had the big oak tree with acorns, you know, and I was like, I'd see blue jays all the time. And now it's not as often, but if you put peanuts out, well, then you'll see some blue jays. But yeah, so that is what I've got for you. I'm gonna get inside, warm up a little bit, get my supper going, and take it from there. But yeah, like I said, sort of a mix, sort of some strange things. There is 2 more items that came with these when I placed this order the other, I guess, last week or so, maybe a week and a half ago now. And one of them is from a brand I've never really had issues with. Minor ones, I guess you'd say. And I'm kind of worried about this thing, and we'll get to that at some point in the future. But like I said, this stuff you should have seen back in June along with the catalog. My apologies. I have a huge backlog of videos, and I kind of try to work things in as I can. This stuff, I probably should have investigated and maybe gotten the 2 heavier duty trowels, which is what I'm trying to get, mainly for me using it and breaking them all the time. But optimistic, you know, my mom rarely had issues like I did. I don't know, I guess I like bear down on them more or something, who knows. But yeah, it's either the big shovel or a trowel, and I thought, you know what, I always break the trowels, so let's see what we've got here. But, you might be seeing some more of this stuff again. I'll try to guinea pig this beforehand, but if red is your color, if you're just incredibly done with what you have available to you locally, not expensive, 13 bucks. Yeah, it's going to be more than you spend at Walmart or Target, but not by much. And if it's a better tool and it's going to last longer, that is powder coated, by the way. worth trying. And I'm sure some of you are to that point because you know the frustration I express. With that said, though, by the time this goes live, I don't know when that will be, but some of you might have picked this up. If so, what did you get? How do you like it? How does it compare? Did you wind up with a narrow trowel? Did you wind up with the other two? Again, currently, those are not on the website, just this guy. But like I said, maybe Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, I'll expand out for everyone. But man, my feet are like ice. I'm kind of losing my voice, and I am going to get myself inside. I moved, I don't even know how many thousands of pounds of castings. First, in the back of a truck, a cold truck. First thing in the morning, of course. 8 a.m. I'm out there moving 14 skids in the back of a truck. And at least it wasn't a reefer this time. That adds to it. It's nothing quite like running a pallet jack across a reefer with 2,000-pound pallets you're moving around. But yeah, I did that, and then I shelved a bunch of stuff by hand, of course, and kind of tired. So I'll leave it at that. Again, let me know your thoughts on this stuff, what you think of it, especially, again, if you have experience with these, whether you're here and you didn't know these existed, or if you're across the pond and you have used Berger lawn and garden tools for years. Let everyone know what you think, how they compare, and again, just share your expertise with the world here. Help someone out when they make a purchase. But with that said, also, of course, free shipping, 75 and up, $100 gets you the mystery sticker, which I still haven't made that video. That was on the agenda quite some time ago. And of course, any order, even if it's just one of these narrow trowels, $13 gets you a bit of things for free. Currently, number 2 from Vit. With that said, LoneStarMopars.com is the website. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all 3 at Lone Star Mopars. Once again, thanks so much for watching. If you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. If you jump your Charger across a creek, grab your narrow trowel, throw it, stab it, plant a pansy perfectly on landing. YouTube just might notify you. We got new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. With that said, thanks again for watching. Hope you have a fantastic week. Most importantly, I hope I catch you back here for more from the shop.